My faith ain't faithing, or it actually seemed like my situation just got worse. What do I do? We're going to hear from Jairus in Mark chapter 5, verses 21 through 42, and let him tell us what to do when our situation seems to die in the midst of us waiting on Jesus to fix our situation. In Mark chapter 5, verse 21 through 24, it starts off with Jesus crossing over again in the boat to the other side, and a large crowd gathers around him, and he stayed by the seashore. And one of the synagogue officials named Jairus came, and upon seeing him, fell at his feet and pleaded with him earnestly, saying, "My little daughter is at the point of death. Please come and lay your hands on her so that she will get well and live." And he, that's Jesus, went off with him, and a large crowd was following him and pressing in on him. So Jairus has come to Jesus with reverence and respect and the faith that he can heal his daughter. He has made a very specific request, or a prayer request, if you will. Come lay your hands on my daughter so that she can get well and live. And so Jesus is coming with him, so we can infer and we can assume that Jairus' prayer will be answered and his daughter will live. Then we get to verses 25 through 34, which is not Jairus' story. This is the story of the woman with the issue of blood. She comes up and she touches Jesus, and he stops and he wants to hear her entire story, which she tells him. And in the midst of that, we get 35. While he was still speaking to the woman with the issue of blood, people came from the house of the synagogue official saying, "Your daughter has died. Why bother the teacher further?" This is the point where we think that it's over, right? Jesus has failed me. Maybe I had it wrong. Why would God do that? Lots of emotions come over us when it seems like God didn't come through. He didn't hold up his end of the bargain, because I had the faith. I was doing what I was supposed to do. It was working. Jesus was coming. Things were going according to plan. And then it all just seems to fall apart. We want to go to pieces. Jairus could have easily went to pieces. But in verse 36, it says that Jesus, overhearing what was being spoken, said to the synagogue officials, "Do not be afraid, only believe." Jesus interjects to stop those feelings, okay? Let's put a wall up. Let's do whatever we need to do to stop all those feelings and those emotions that's going to come in, and it's going to edge out your faith, okay? Fear and faith can coexist. They can be together. However, fear cannot take the wheel. If you let fear take the wheel, fear is going to stop your vehicle. It's going to maybe even turn it around. But faith in control is going to get it to the destination that we're trying to get to, which is whatever the Lord has for us, and his will and his plan for our life. So don't fear. That's what he's telling him. Only believe. That's have the faith. That's trust. That's have confidence in. Keep the faith is what Jesus wanted Jairus to do. That faith that you had to come to me, that faith. Keep that faith. The faith that you had to make the request to heal your daughter. That's a big request for you to say, "I want you to, my daughter is about to die." That's what everybody is saying. But if you touch her, she going to be healed and she going to be well. That, for you had faith to do that. Keep that faith that you had to walk with me, believing that I was going to heal your daughter. That faith that you had to stay when I was talking to the woman with the issue of blood. Jairus could have left. He could have got impatient, could have said, "Well, I'm out of here. I gotta go see about my daughter if you're going to sit here and talk." But no, he had faith because he believed that Jesus could do something about his situation. Jesus wanted him to hold on to the faith and keep on believing. Now let's get real for a second. Why? Why, Lord? Why should I keep the faith? It's over. There is nothing else that can be done. My daughter is dead. Let me flip back to Jesus for a second. Is she though? Who told you that your daughter was dead? The people. The people told him that his daughter was dead because that's what they saw. And that's what they believe. However, Jairus is operating by faith, okay? And faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. What we can see and what we can perceive, that is the physical. We're not in the physical. We're moving by what we believe will happen, even if we can't see it, and that is the spiritual, okay? Jesus said that your daughter is going to live, okay? That's why he was coming with you. He's telling you to keep on believing. He didn't say that he wasn't going to heal your daughter. So the people, they didn't get the word from the Lord. You did. So you have to make the decision. Who are you going to believe? The people? Or are you going to believe Jesus? And Jairus keeps the faith. Despite the delay, despite the disappointment, he follows Jesus on to his house. He fights past the discouragement that could happen when in verse 39, there are people crying and grieving over his daughter. He goes into the room with Jesus. And in verse 42, we see that immediately his daughter gets up and she is well. Look how long it took him to get to the immediately, to get to the blessing and the answered prayer and the miracle that he was seeking. But look what he had to do. He had to hold on to his faith despite the delays, despite the disappointment, despite the discouragement. And that is not easy, okay? Delays can be extremely long. And when they are long, that gives us an opportunity to doubt whether or not it's really going to happen. Did we hear God clearly? Maybe we should quit. Maybe we should give up. Maybe we're the crazy ones. Disappointment and discouragement is going to work together. All these things are trying to make you stop and quit. And humanly speaking and physically speaking, it may make sense to quit, but we are operating in the spiritual and by faith. And faith says that we believe whatever it is that God has told us. And we believe that he is going to do whatever he says he's going to do, and he is able to do anything. So if he said that he's going to heal my daughter and my daughter is quote unquote dead, then he's going to heal my daughter. If he says that I'm going to get this house and they're telling me that you don't have the credit for that, I'm going to get this house. If he's telling me you're going to get that job and they're telling me I don't have the qualifications, I'm going to get that job. We believe in the evidence not seen. So we're going to keep our faith despite the delays, despite the disappointment, despite the discouragement, because what's on the other side, what we're pressing through and what we're fighting for is worth the wait. We know what will happen if we quit, but we don't know what will happen if we keep moving forward. Or we do know what's going to happen. We're going to get whatever it is that God has promised us. And who wants to give up and forfeit our testimony, our blessing, our miracle, because we failed to endure? So faith ain't faithing, or it just seemed like it's getting worse. Go back to whatever it is that he said he was going to do. And if he told you he's going to do it, he's going to do it. All you need to do is just keep the faith. Anything I forgot, anything I missed, anything you want to add, please drop it in the comment section below. Like this video if it was helpful to you in any way, and subscribe to this channel for more content and teachings that will help you grow in the Word of God and your relationship with Christ. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.